right now, I would say, even though interest rates have ticked up a little bit, it is still a good time to buy. I tell you, if you can get in now, you can get in and then refinance down the road. It may be a year or two before you're able to refinance, but you are going to be locked in on the home that you want. And I think
Yes.
that, in the Bay Area specifically, yeah, there's going to be a slowing of the market, but I'm not going to see I don't think we're going to see a huge decline in prices because
Right.
the inventory is still less than the demand.
That's
Supply
true.
is lower than demand. And as long as supply is lower than demand, no matter what the rates are, homes are still going to be for sale and it's still a good market to get into. So that's my
Absolutely.
personal opinion. I want to share some programs that I'm now offering. And these are not the only programs, but these are fairly new. And so I just want to bring them up because people are probably not aware of it. And the first one is Max One, Max MAX One,
Mm,
and Max One Plus.
okay.
And yeah, and I'm really excited about this down payment assistance program. It is a first mortgage, which has to be an FHA loan, combined with a second mortgage. And that second mortgage, in some cases, can be forgivable depending on your situation. But here's the big deal about Max One and Max One Plus that's different from all the other down payment assistance programs. 580 minimum credit score, 580. Most
Wow.
down payment assistance programs want 640 and higher. Max
Okay.
One and Max One Plus will allow a 580 middle credit score.
Wow.
Yes. Another thing about Max One and Max One Plus is there are no income limits. So you can make, 400,000 a year and still do Max One Plus. There's no income
Interesting.
limits.
Okay.
And another factor about it, no debt to income ratio limits. And
Wow.
this is important. We're not saying we'll do 100% debt to income ratio.
Okay.
What we're saying is when you apply for an FHA loan or a conventional loan,
Hmm.
your application is run through an automated underwriting system, AUS,
Okay.
automated underwriting system.
Okay.
And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they each have their own systems. And both will approve you for FHA or conventional.
Okay.
So Fannie Mae typically will allow a debt to income ratio up to 50%. So
Right.
if we run you through on a conventional loan, the debt to income ratio, it will accept 50%, which is
Okay.
awesome. FHA will approve a debt to income ratio up to 57%.
Whoa, it keeps increasing.
Yeah. And so when I say there's no debt to income ratio limits, it's because most down payment assistance programs limit the debt to income ratio to either 45 or 50. But with the
Mm.
Max One and Max One Plus, it's
Hmm.
whatever the automated underwriting system approves. And I know
Oh,
it'll approve 50 for conventional and 57 for FHA because I've
okay.
run them through and gotten approvals.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So for that, the debt to income situation, there is technically a limit. It's just created by the AUS
System.
system. Okay.
Right. Not
Gotcha.
created by the program, but
Got
the
it.
AUS system. Um, so whatever that system will approve, it will go through.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So
Awesome.
that's important. And then lastly, Max One and Max Plus does not require you to be a first-time home buyer.
Oh,
Yeah, that's another good thing. Now, this has to be your only residence, but you could have just sold one yesterday and get into
gotcha.
Max One and Max One Plus.
Okay.
Yes.
So this wouldn't work for investors, for somebody who,
No, this is
okay.
for primary. These
Gotcha.
programs that I'm going to talk to you about are all for primary residents.
Gotcha.
So what's the difference between Max One and Max One Plus? So Max One combines an FHA first mortgage with a 0% second mortgage. There's no payments required on the second mortgage for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And the second mortgage is forgivable in 10 years.
Wow.
But you have to keep that first mortgage for a whole 10 years for it to be forgiven.
That's awesome still, because most residents that have a home purchase long-term will stay about 10 years or longer.
Right. That's Max One. The other thing about Max One is the property can be a 1-unit or a 2-unit property.
I was just going to ask you that. How about multifamily? Okay, so you can have up to a duplex.
On Max One.
Okay.
Now, so that's Max One. Max One Plus, the difference is that you can do a 3 and a 4-unit property also on Max One Plus. So basically, you can buy a 4-unit property with no money down. No down payment. Now, both of these, you'll have to pay your own closing costs, but you don't have to come in with any money at all for the down payment.
Okay, so I totally missed that part. So there's no down payment requirement for either the Max One or the Max One Plus.
Exactly.
Whoa, that's huge.
That is huge. You will have to pay your closing costs, but the seller can also pay your closing costs. I have a transaction right now, a condo in San Francisco, and the seller is giving the buyer a $15,000 credit towards closing costs. So,
awesome.
And yes, so the seller is allowed to pay all of your closing costs, and that's something that your realtor and agent, Janisha, can help you with.
That's right.
But the good news about Max One Plus is that it will allow a 3 and a 4 unit. The difference, though, besides the units, is that on Max One Plus, there is a second loan for that down payment that you do have to pay back. And that payback is amortized over 10 years. So, and we do have to figure the payment on Max One Plus in your debt to income ratio. So Max One, nope, the payment is deferred. Max One Plus is a 10-year amortization on the down payment money. And the interest rate is 2% above whatever the rate is on the first mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can be kind of high, but for someone looking to get into a 3 or 4 unit property and they don't have the money for the down payment, this could work possibly.
This is an option. And that's the thing about these programs. I'm glad you pointed that out, Ella, because a lot of the times these programs are not going to be 100% across the board what everybody wants, right? It's not going to be the perfect product, but it allows you to have the opportunity to purchase in cases where you probably could not have gone to a traditional loan product or something more conventional. So
absolutely.
exciting.
That is very, very exciting.